Hello friends, I am Professor Miss Priyanka Dange. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering and I am from Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon. Today I am here for a course introduction for the subject Infrastructure Engineering and Construction Techniques. So, our Sanjeevani Rural Education Society's Sanjeevani College of Engineering is an autonomous institute which is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. It is also accredited by NAC by A grade. So today we will have a focus on course introduction. So this is a basic structure for TE Civil for semester 1. It shows for subject Infrastructure Engineering and Construction Techniques. We have allotted 4 lectures per week. The internal assessment, that is in semester exam, is of 30 marks and end semester exam is of 70 marks. As far as this subject is concerned, there is no term work, practical or oral for this subject. Therefore, total marks for this subject is 100 and total credits are 4. If we see the course objectives for this subject, the first and primus objective is to produce civil engineering graduates who are introduced with the basic infrastructure needs of society. The second objective is to produce civil engineering graduates who are introduced with various equipment used in construction works. The third objective is to produce civil engineering graduates who are introduced with the basics of understanding of railways, tunnel, docks and harbors. Fourth objective of this subject is to produce graduates who have the ability to pursue careers as practicing civil engineers in the field of railway engineering and offshore components which are required for waterways. Fifth objective is to train the students of civil engineering with good scientific and engineering breadth so that they can carry out the various construction field works with different construction equipment. And the last objective for this subject is to study and to analyze different types of advancement in construction equipment, economic maintenance and repair of the construction equipment, etc. So after studying this subject, the course outcomes are an ability to develop civil engineering graduates who can understand the basic infrastructure needs of society and improved transportation system. As far as this subject is concerned, we are dealing with the provision of various infrastructure facilities to the society, and at the same time we are focusing on the railway, docks and harbour, so because of which it is possible to improve the transportation system. The second outcome is an ability to develop the students to take leadership, teamwork for design and execution of railway construction project. So for any project it is required to have a various qualities as leadership, it may be teamwork, and which is helpful for the design and execution of various construction projects. The next outcome of this subject is an ability to develop civil engineering graduates who can understand and apply the new construction techniques. As in this subject, we have a focus on the various new construction techniques, and by using those techniques we can develop the civil engineering graduates who can able to apply the various construction techniques on the construction field. The next outcome of this is civil engineering graduates are trained to develop their career in consultancy work or execution of big project like tunnel, open cuts and micro tunneling. So This subject helps the students for developing their career in tunneling, or it may be for consultancy work, etc. The next objective is an ability to make civil engineering graduates familiar with design criteria and construction methods of docks and harbor. So, docks and harbor is an important infrastructure facilities which is provided by the civil engineering field. So, by using this subject, we can have a focus on the design criteria and construction methods of the docks and harbor. And last and important outcome of this subject is we can develop an ability of civil engineering graduates to study advancement in construction equipments and repair procedure. For this construction process, we will have a need of various construction equipment and their repair also. So, what is the advancement in such type of process can be developed by using this subject. Next, we will have a focus on the content of this subject, infrastructure engineering and construction techniques. So basically, as like that of other subject, this subject is also having 6 units, and it starts with unit number 1, that is infrastructure engineering. So this infrastructure engineering unit is basically categorized into 2 parts, part A and part B. So part A is general unit, and under which we will have a focus on introduction to the term infrastructure and scope of infrastructure engineering in national and global development. After this, we have to just have a focus on various infrastructure projects that are under construction at national and global level. After this, we will have a focus on important term, that is public private partnership, which is popularly known as PPP. Along with this, we have to just see what is the salient features of smart city and what is bus rapid transit system. The B part of this unit number 1 is related with the railways, under which we have to see permanent way, functions of rail, what is the standard rail sections, what is tilting of rails, coning of wheels, what are the various types of sleepers, ballast, and what are the modern developments in railways under the heading metro rails, monorails and bullet trains. Unit number 2 is again related with the railways. In this unit number 2, we will have a concentration on various points like what are the various types of rail joints, what are the anvil effects, what is welding of rails. Then after this, we have to focus on the various terms that are related with the railway, that is types of gradients, curves, alignment, super elevation, equilibrium cant, equilibrium speed, etc. So these we have to study with the help of a site visit. Unit number 3 is related with the construction techniques. So under this unit number 3, we will have a focus on various new construction techniques that are implemented on the construction side. So before proceeding to the actual concept of these construction techniques, we should know what is the necessity of mechanization. After that, we will have a focus on dredging techniques, what is barges, use of barges, various dewatering techniques and its types. Along with this, we will have a focus on grouting methods, what is a diaphragm wall, what is its purpose, and at last we will see what is prefabrication. So this is about unit number 3. Unit number 4 is related with the tunneling. So first we have to see what is tunnel, what are the functions and types of tunnel, what is the criteria for selection of size and shape of tunnel, what is pilot tunnel, what is shaft, etc. Along with these basic terms, we will have a focus on the various tunneling methods that are in use. So we have to see the various tunneling methods in soft soil, as well as we have to see drilling and blasting methods that are used in tunneling. The next important unit is unit number 5, and it is related with the docks and harbor. So under this unit, we will study what is docks, what is harbors, what are the classification of harbors, what are the various factors that are used in selection of site for harbor, what are the components of ports, breakwaters, what are the design criteria, what is the method of construction for tetrapod, tribar, hexapod, etc., along with the various types of wharves, jetties, fenders, etc. And last unit is related with construction equipment, that is unit number 6. So under this we will study the various construction equipment that are used on a construction site. So it includes dozers, power shovels, excavators, loaders, scrappers, etc. Along with this we will have a focus on simple numericals which are based on cycle time and production rate, and along with this we have to focus on economic maintenance and repair of construction equipment. So this is about the course content. These are the various text and reference books which are useful at the time of study. So it includes Railway Engineering by Satish Chandra and M. Agrawal. This is a good book. The next book is for Harbour, Dock and Tunnel Engineering. The author for the book is R. Srinivasan and it is available in our library. The next important book for railway engineering is Railway Engineering by Saxena and Arora. Next important books are as shown. So this is about the course introduction. Thank you.